morning, everybody. Welcome to Talking Horses. We're back. We were teasing you. We aren't really back. He's Anthony. I'm Andy. Before we get started, I have a very important question. How did it go calling the Yonkers action on Friday?
It was fun.
Yeah, I was kind of out of it, so I didn't listen.
Feeling better?
Are you going to be doing? Yeah, are you going to be doing a little bit more of it?
Yes.
Good. I'll have to make sure I listen to it.
Yeah. Did the first as the bullet?
You're really a harness guy. I mean, you're a harness guy at heart. I know you pretend.
I'm an everything guy.
You're a harness guy at heart. You like nothing more than a late night harness action.
I was getting a little loopy for the 9th. Mary, of course. Mary Eddy showed up.
Mary, if she's not at the zoo or a sporting event, she's at
Mary
Yonkers.
was hanging out. No, we had a lot of fun. Thanks to Alex and the gang up at Yonkers and Alex Deoden, the general manager up there. Yeah, well, I'll be filling in for Hernan whenever he needs John Hernan whenever he needs a little spell. And yeah, we had some fun. We actually did some on-air stuff as well. Handicapped a few races for them.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Good
time.
Good. That's great. Yeah, no, I'll have to check that out next time you do it. I was sorry to miss it. Anyway, we got 9 to talk about today. It's good to be back. And brought the right PPs. I just noticed that. That's good. It's a good start. And we'll head over to NYRA Bets.
He has Thursday done already in all likelihood.
I do, yeah.
Sure
have you looked at it?
I did actually.
Let me tell you, it wasn't the most Herculean job.
No, it was not.
$200, we'll match for $200 of your initial deposit. Use the promo code MATCH200. Play through NYRA Bets, keep the money in the game. Middle pick 4, 9 race cards. That'll be race number 3. Pick 4s in 2, 3, and 6 today. We also have that Sunday $5,000 pick 3 hit and split. You got to opt in for that. Don't want to miss it. Hit the late pick 3. I've tried. I've failed. But I'm going to keep trying because that's what we do. And also we have a show today, 2:30 to 5:30, the first half on FS2, the second half on FS1. I think Acacia's here. Greg's, I don't think he's in today. Yeah. I haven't seen her. I'm looking forward to seeing her as well. I'll be on the first couple hours. Anyway, race number 1 today. It's never a good sign when you don't have a video for the race.
Never a good sign.
There's a horse currently 1-2, though there isn't much money in the pool, and it's the one you have on top, and that's Dee's Speedster.
I'm going with Speedster. It's kind of like Rockville Center is a town in Long Island, and the center is R-E.
Yeah, but that's a spelling of center. This isn't a spelling of Speedster. I wonder if there was already a D Speedster, and they just couldn't use it, so they had to. Who knows?
Maybe.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm going with Speedster. Blinkers back on blinkers.
Shouldn't Speedster have more speed?
Lasix, you would think, right? I hate when horses they fool you. The name fool. You think that's going to happen. They're going to come blazing at it. That's probably like the farm in your head. This horse is fast. Yes, or slowish.
Slow D.
I agree. Slow D. They should reach in and change the name to Slow D.
Comes out of some better races than this.
Yeah, that was
sort of the obvious favorite. She's had a little more time since her last start, as far as West Star just ran here the other day, 8 days ago. West Star, you know, that taken up, it did lose good 2 to 3 lengths last time. Obviously a distant second to horse that ran off. But besides that, for me with West Star is also, 3-4 wide in that race, and that was a Super Gold Rail Day, and that's what dressed up the performance of Mama's Gold, who will never run back to that 96 buyer. Odd drop down. I wonder if that horse has like a breathing issue or something.
96.
That horse, 96. You knew that was a weird drop down to begin with.
Uh-huh.
I always felt like that horse ran like it could have gotten a shot in a maiden special. And the way Mike Maker and I think it was Buff Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buck Butler.
Buck Butler.
Or Buff.
Buck Butler.
The way they dropped that horse just seemed
all
a little
the way to
weird.
The quarter, yeah.
It was a big old rail. I took that one. No great shakes. Love to see this rider get a win here. Not sure how long he's staying. I know that I talked to Matt Cantramachi, who said he was going to be going to Dubai at some point. He wasn't sure how long he'd be riding.
Dubai or Saudi?
I thought he said Dubai.
Okay.
I
thought I heard Saudi.
I don't know about but we have the special bonus on those Dubai races on Friday. I don't know if you've heard.
I was sad that we didn't get to talk about it Thursday.
It must have been I was crushed as
I talked to a few friends about it just to
Did you?
Going, yeah.
I mumbled in my sleep. We will move on to race number 2.
Phil took advantage of it. You know he did.
Well, Phil's a true Renaissance man.
He is.
Well, race number 2 was a bit of an interesting race. And we'll show Lil Commissioner's last race, and I don't disagree with you putting him on top. He runs his last race, it's going to be very tough. Go ahead.
Those aren't right, guys.
Oh, they're not your picks?
Unless I made a mistake.
No, you picked Hammer and Hammer.
Yeah.
You're right. Tell them your picks. They can fix them while we're showing.
3, 2, 5, 6.
Okay, well, I'll show you. I'll talk about Lil Commissioner. Lil Commissioner survived the pace. This pace completely fell apart And he did a terrific job surviving it. The other horses that were involved in the pace finished 8th at 2-1, and I believe came back and improved 13 buyer points. I thought this horse ran very, very well, all things considered, in here, considering the pace. Now, I guess the question is where did it come from, but he does have back races that are good. He's not supposed to get the lead in here, because you got to think that Kumar is going to probably go, but Wes is he's very, very aggressive. It's one of the things I like about his riding, and I thought he was the horse to beat here, but you're going to...
Little Commissioner, yeah, I thought Little Commissioner was the horse to beat in here, too, but I felt like that his better race was being forward, and with Kumar in here...
Took us a second to him.
Yeah.
He's won
gonna
rating.
have to.
He doesn't need to have the lead.
No.
He's fine without the lead, and he didn't have a lead last time.
I wanted to take Hammer and Hammer, cutting back to the, well, I shouldn't say cutting back.
He's not cutting back.
He's getting back to a dry track. The last time he was on dry ground was a mile and an eighth.
Well, the track was dry last time. They should have listed it fast. It was dry last time. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
It was a dry track last time. It was mislabeled.
He ran against exponentially tougher last time out.
He did.
He's getting a little class relief, even though it's only one level. It's light years easier.
It's a big drop.
Yeah, it's a big drop. I just think
I don't know if he can run anymore.
He might not be.
I hear you.
Listen, he might not be able to.
Hang on, Mount Rushmore.
He might not be. He might not be able to run
A little
anymore.
respect for the
But if
presidents,
he can, I think he'll get a
founding
decent
fathers.
enough setup, and I think it'll be a square enough price. I'm going to try my old buddy Hammer and Hammer.
Yeah, I hear you. David liked this horse too. I get it. I don't know. This barn's been very, very cold. I get it. I don't disagree. He can obviously win. I put him third. I have a bit of a thing with, look at this. I'm trying to get the, how do we pronounce it? Kokakaya?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm trying to get him home for a double.
Double?
To start out the card.
Wow.
Well, I have a thing for Mount Travers, and I do think there's a reasonable chance his form's gone away, but at least he showed a little bit of life last time out. And I didn't think his race that time was that bad. Ryder stayed off the rail. He was pretty close to the rail, this horse, actually. And that's the thing. He's been on some dead rails. He's had some, trips that didn't work out for him, better fields. He's dropping. I'm going to give him one chance. He showed a little life last time. It's going to be a better price. The horse that's short, and I know he's dropping, and David has a thing for this horse. I don't get runabout.
Yeah, he didn't do. I know.
Well, he ran against a better field. I mean, he ran better than your horse did last time.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, if you like Hammer and Hammer, you can't discount him. He ran a little bit better. I don't know. But in this field, I guess he could win. To me, a lot of it depends on Lil Commissioner. I feel like if Lil Commissioner runs his last race, it's highly unlikely he loses. The problem is, even though he has back form,
he doesn't have any consistency.
Not the most reliable horse in the world,
yeah.
right? But Antonio Arriaga's horses show up more often than not. So we'll see. I was happy for Bruce Lunsford winning that race.
That horse galloped yesterday,
He's going
huh?
to start at Claiborne, I think, right? Yeah.
And I thought he was going straight. I didn't think he was running this year.
Well, they were going to run the Cigar Mile.
Right. I thought.
But I knew he went to
not
Florida, so I assumed they were waiting for this race.
Oh, good for them.
Boy,
good for Billy. Yeah, that was just been some
the Mott Barn has been on fuego. I mean, this has got to be. I mean, obviously he's had some great years. He's a great trainer, but they really have been.
And he was never a horse that could rate. I mean, he sat fourth yesterday and just gobbled those horses.
He looked like
up.
a winner every step of the way. The problem with the race was that nobody made a move at all.
Nobody fired. Yeah.
And I looked at the charts. It's not like it was a day that I really wasn't paying attention to the races. They don't run the made dirt races, but it was like a day that seemed like a big speed track. Just nobody.
I watched a few races, but yeah, it didn't seem like there was a big bias or anything. He just nobody
Prevalence
moved
came
in that
from
race.
behind earlier. Nobody moved at all.
Yeah. The Funder
wasn't
was the
super
only
fast pace.
The Funder was the only horse that took money in the race that really did any running. And he just sat second and kind of never moved.
Sort of true that only two horses took money in the race, kind of. And who took money to him in Cyber
Proxy took a little money. He really didn't get going until late.
I don't get him. I don't think
Yeah, he just didn't. He just didn't really do any running.
I could never bet Art Collector. I thought he was done. He hadn't run well in a long time.
Yeah, he was off. He hadn't run since.
But I mean, even his form this year, he seemed to have declined precipitously. Hey, I'm thrilled. I like Bruce. I've known Bruce for years. I'm happy to see him win. And the guy's been involved in the game and a good guy. Well, with the scratch in race number 3, we'll take a look at Ghostly Prince. I should have brought something to drink with me. It's a dumb move, but dumb guy makes a dumb move. We'll show him finishing third last time out in this weird race in the slop. Guy who made that middle move in here. Anthony, this horse is going to be, I mean, what price is he going to be with the 3 scratching? And even the 4 could have, the 4 was like the third choice.
The third choice, right. With
Nicholas James is going to be the,
I mean, this horse is going to be 2 to 5, 3 to 5. And
Yeah.
that's the only, I guess that's the knock. You really want this horse at 3 to 5.
I don't know. You want Nicholas James?
At
He's
2
got
to
him
1? No,
5
absolutely
to
not.
2. What am I
No.
supposed to like about him?
No.
Last race was
But I'm going to tell you
poison.
what, you almost got to here's the thing out of me just now. The problem here is this.
This.
This is the cousin.
This is the problem?
No.
This is it?
I'm going to give you the.
You're ready.
I'm going to give you the cousin Andrew. Cousin Andrew was 2 to 5 yesterday. Okay.
It's a bad day for Cousin Andrew. I've seen that. He really embarrassed him.
How much more consistent? How better are the figs of Cousin Andrew on a horse like this? You really want to take this horse now at 2 to 5 that you saw what Cousin Andrew did yesterday? I know they're different horses. They're different.
No, I don't.
That's what I mean.
I picked against
You
him
can't
in the
take these
race,
horses.
but my horse is scratched.
Yeah,
So.
you can't take these horses. It's hard
Yeah.
it's hard to
But it's
rely
very, very hard
on these horses.
I'd love to make a case for somebody
But
against
it's
him.
hard to make a case for anybody else in here.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It's very, very hard to make
And I
a
don't
case
really
for
like
anybody
Nicholas
else. In here.
James.
No, I mean,
These
and
horses
it's a
are
barn
awful.
that's streaky. I mean, this horse was 7 to 5. It was 8 to 5 last time into Fenway. Horse didn't run 2 steps.
He got lost in the fog.
How good was he? He was good, man.
Yeah, he was overrated.
You didn't like him, huh?
No, I didn't have a big opinion on him, but he got a lot of hype because he was kind of a fun horse, and I love the way they campaigned him to run in the country. He wasn't very fast. I mean, you have to remember something. He wasn't very fast. He never ran big figures, and when he got in the Breeders' Cup, he got crushed.
He did.
And I kind of wanted him to win because I felt, but you got to remember something. The day he won the King's Bishop, now the Alan Jerkins, a 2-year-old maiden ran a significantly faster
Yes.
fig. Now, that 2-year-old maiden was.
What year was this? Was it Uncle Mo? No. He was before Uncle Mo, yeah?
Way before Uncle Mo. Before I worked here. No, it was 05. It was Breeders' Cup at Belmont. 05. You don't remember who broke his maiden that day?
He was that long ago?
You don't remember who broke his maiden that day?
No. I'm lost in the fog.
I'll give you a hint. He somehow paid $12. He never ran for the connections that owned him originally, again.
Oh, Discreet Cat?
Correct. Yeah, he ran a 105 buyer.
So he was that far. Wow. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah.
I thought it. Huh.
I think it was 05. Yeah, well, it had to be 05.
No, you're right.
Because
No,
it was at Belmont. The last Breeders' Cup at Belmont was 05. Had to be.
Discreet Cat was favored in the first Breeders' Cup mile at Monmouth in 07. He was 4?
Yeah, he didn't run as a 3-year-old.
Wow.
Right, barely ran as a 3-year-old.
Right. He went over there and disappeared. He was in the witness protection program over there.
Yeah, he stunk there.
Yeah.
No, he won the Cigar Mile as a
Cigar Mile,
3-year-old. Right.
Yep. Okay.
Race 4. It's all
Yep.
coming back to me. Richie used to gallop him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just talking about him all the time. Remember they said he was coming back, and Richie'd say to me, "You're not coming back anytime soon."
Right.
Yeah, he was
Red Terrell.
He was an amazing horse.
They
He
got
just had a
money
lot
for
of
him.
just had
That's
a
when
lot.
they were spending all that. They were spending crazy money back
They
then.
have crazy money.
Yes, I know
That was. He's one of the best. You know, he wasn't as good as Ghost Sapper, but there's a similarity because he was a brilliant horse, but was crippled.
Yeah, had a lot of issues.
And when he finally fell apart, big time,
Yeah, had a
unfortunately.
lot of issues.
Race number 4 begins the pick 6. Pick 6. What'd you do in this race?
I went to the Dirty Tree.
No, this is a nice horse.
Listen. I've seen enough so far of Naked and Famous, Super Quality, and Growth Mindset.
I hear you.
And maybe one of them will win today. I will take the Devil I Don't Know.
Okay. I
And
watched
that's
his
it.
race at
I got
Parks.
nothing
I don't think he
else.
can run a step, but I hear you. He is a new face dropping down, but he was awful there. But I hear you. I'm not gonna take a big stand on anybody. I prefer Naked and Famous. We'll take a look at Super Quality's last race. We finished second. The horse that beat him was a Wesley Ward horse that was coming in from Keeneland, one of those Wesley Ward kinds. He's probably the speed. We'll see. You got to imagine with Kendrick, he'll go, and Jose Lozcano's not as aggressive, and he'll try to let him go and try to stalk with Naked and Famous. I have no confidence Naked and Famous can do it. Though I will say with Naked and Famous, he wasn't bet last time, coming off a bit of a layoff. He didn't take any real money until late, and he really was under bet. I wonder if they needed that race and he'll run better today, because I thought his first race was actually pretty good. I thought a repeat of that race in that field just could win it here, but I hear you.
Yeah, he was in for the waiver too, so they did protect him last time.
Well, you can get him today.
You can have him today. Yeah.
Wave.
Oh,
Hey,
yours.
maybe he was in the waiver. She knew he needed a race. Do you want to get a race into him? And then if she loses, she's not going to lose this horse. No one even claims this horse for $20,000. Their head examined. Anything else? I mean, I think growth mindset's not impossible
No.
here. I mean, Last race wasn't terrible, but you know what? Something I don't believe that fig. But the race did collapse last time, and so this horse ran better than it looks because it was on top of the pace. That's the 4th. Race number 5.
That kicks off the pick 6, but you said that, I think.
I did say that.
Yeah.
But you can say it again if you like.
I just wanna-
You don't want to. You haven't had a chance.
Keep it out there.
So here's what you're up against in race number 5, and you've got this one on top, Liam's Champ. I don't know. This horse got wired last time, but why is this horse going to run better? Here's the race that Liam's Champ and ran 2nd, and Risk Free ran 3rd.
I didn't know. I don't know anything about the firsters in here. I was.
How'd that happen? You laid up in bed or something?
Yeah, I don't know anything about the firsters in here.
Well, you're at Yonkers.
I was
You were lost in the fog at
watching the
Yonkers.
qualifiers. They had 4 qualifiers that night.
I've watched qualifiers in my day.
Yeah, he got wired, like you said. Don't know anything about the firsters. I'm pretty sure he'll handle the runners. Although I have a little sneaky thing, speaking of Bob Terrell, Red Terrell, I got a little something on the 7. We'll talk
Because,
about it in a minute.
there was 7. The 7 got bet first time. It was horrendous.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit, the Lakes is going to blinkers. We'll talk about him in a second. I just thought this horse, he finished 2nd first time out, and a little routine improvement. And
The
again,
7 is a tip story, though.
The 7 was, I didn't find out about the 7 until after the race. And then,
The best tip you've ever had.
yeah, exactly. The trouble at the start that he kind of caused her own trouble. Now the blinkers go on.
Complete nonsense.
Lasix.
This horse didn't bump hard with anybody. Maybe this horse bumped somebody in the barn, but this horse kissed the other horse. It was
Well,
no.
yeah, but
It was no try. It was no hard bump. Watch it. Watch
No,
that.
I didn't.
No, you didn't say it. I'm
saying
criticizing
is,
the chart comment. I'm not
this
criticizing
horse
you.
Did not, this horse didn't break cleanly.
Yeah, but this horse had no
now
trouble.
the blinkers go on.
This horse had no trouble.
The blinkers go on. Some Lasix. Let's see. I like betting horses that there was a little story on 2nd time. This horse is going to be a giant price today.
Not a barn that's won a lot of races.
No, that's the caveat. The barn has been ice cold as of late.
I'm
Won a
going to
race,
first-time starters.
Okay.
I'm going to put the 4. I like these cheaper, these lower-priced Clarvish runners. Sometimes they seem to be runners. It's actually a pretty good 2nd dam for asset purchase, and I'm going to put in Todd's horse, Lendercraft. Dam was okay, though. She was a better turf horse. She's gotten a little old, though, but I just went for those barns.
Yeah, the production was more turf, but even like 10, 12 years ago, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Better turf. There's some okay dirt in there,
Yeah.
but there is turf. And I agree. I'm worried that dam is getting a little old. See what happens in race number 5?
We all are.
Take a break and back for the late pick 4.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Thanks to our sponsor. Give me a little Saratoga water. Give me a little lubricated here. Andy, Talking
Andy.
Horses. Race 6, late pick 4. What do we got? Fantail.
Yes.
We'll take a look.
You a Fantail shrimp guy? I'm a Fantail shrimp guy. Chinese restaurant?
I'm a shrimp guy. So
Yeah, me too. Fantail's one of my favorite, though.
Really?
Yeah, if they're made properly, I think they're my favorite. So there's like a half a story with Fantail. Fantail was entered and scratched for trainer Jonathan Wong.
Well, he still owns the horse.
Right. But now it's David Jacobson is training the horse.
He was entered here for Jonathan Wong?
Yes, he was.
Is he not? It's not licensed in
And
New York?
scratched. I believe it was a workman's
Comp.
comp issue.
That's what I figured. Yeah, there was one of those two.
Yes. So he will run here now for David Jacobson. And David bought some horses from Jonathan Wong in California over the summer.
I know. He's so random, David.
Yeah, there's a lot of randomness.
They
but
run
there's been a little
huge,
bit
they
more
run
consistency
terribly.
recently. I feel like. No,
I think
you
he's,
don't feel
I
it?
think he's totally random.
Okay.
No, he's completely and totally random.
right.
I have no idea. Never knew. I never knew when he was training in the old days. I never know now.
So I'm.
They run great. They run lousy.
So I know you'll talk about surcharge in a minute. I thought it was going to be. I thought it was a chalky race, and I just took Fantail over Movie Moxie because there was a time and place when Movie Moxie they thought she was going to be a stakes filly. I do not
They
like.
were wrong.
They were wrong. I do not like the fact that she is dropping all the way in for the 25.
What was the level she was scratched out of on?
She
Thursday
was
or Friday?
scratched. I can't. I was going to ask you. I don't remember if she was scratched out of a condition claiming race.
Hang on. It was-
ahead.
No.
She was not, right?
I don't think so.
It was
'cause
like
the
an
race
open
that Rudy
claim
won.
race.
It was a race that Rudy won with that horse off the claim.
Yes. It was an
awful
open claim.
favorite.
And that's
Never win
what
again.
bothers me about her.
Melting snow.
The fact that she, right, like, it was like for 32 or something. So that's what bothers me about her. They are, now, if they're
It was a
trying to-
$32,000.
32 open?
Yes.
Yeah. So what bothers me is, and I understand what 7,000. The old Movie Moxie would bury these horses,
Right, but she's been horrific.
but she's not
in
the
her
old
last
Movie
three.
Moxie. They're in all
She's also
likelihood
gonna be a
going-
short price.
Yeah, she's going to be a short price.
That's my problem with her. I do think
yeah.
she's the worst to beat.
Yeah, she's the worst to beat.
I don't
but she's
totally
hard
trust
to trust.
Fantail.
It's hard to trust her, and I don't trust
Movie
either of
Moxie's
them.
also been a vet scratch twice. Once here on January 15th and once at Parks.
Okay, so she was vet scratched out of the race where she was in for the Open. There you go.
But she wasn't vet scratched the other day. She was scratched because she was going to run in this race.
But the 15th, she was in for a
Correct.
Yeah, the Open race as well. Okay, there you go. So there's the story, Morning Glory.
They are the two horses to beat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue against that. I don't think there's any real sane argument against that. I'm betting the JKX stable. This was a stable I was discussing on this show well before that article came out. The article that was in Pollock Report that Natalie Vosteros is worth reading and should be read by a lot of people in the industry, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, there's two different things going on. You can have that discussion another time, but we're talking about handicapping and betting. And this is a barn whose horses have at times improved immeasurably off the claim. This would not be one of them, however.
This was ran terribly.
Right. It was a muddy seal track, and the horse didn't take a nickel. So I found that interesting. I don't know if this horse is any good, but I'm going to give them one chance in here at a dry track.
Well, this is the kind of race where you don't mind giving a horse a race.
I'm not sure. This is, thank you guys. This is the win at Keeneland 2 races back, which, by the way, is not likely fast enough to win here.
Right.
But this is a barn that has improved horses extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
And if you had, so I'm taking a bit of a shot.
The last race could absolutely work in your favor because of the muddy seal track. Maybe she just didn't handle it, and maybe this horse pops at a little bit of a price
First time
today.
dry
Yeah,
track for
right.
these connections who have performed some miracles.
Absolutely right.
So I'm
Yep.
going to take it. I'm not.
She
I'm not making a big bet by any stretch, but I'm going to take a little shot. And the other thing is, I don't trust these Jacobson horses.
You don't need to. If you don't trust Jacobson, and obviously Movie Moxie, there's zero
I just
trust in
don't
Movie
need her.
Moxie.
I'd rather have bet her in that race on Friday against a better field and
At a better
gotten
price.
5-1 or 9-2 or something than take a short price here, because if she can still run, she could have
and
won that
she
race.
is. I mean, I know she's not doing any running, but people are going to look at 2 stakes races in her last 3
Oh
starts.
no!
she
This
is-
field, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. It's interesting. For me, in the evolution of handicapping and playing, is that because speed figures are everywhere, everybody knows now who the fastest horse in the race is. It's all available. You can't win money by identifying the fastest horse in the race, and it's like people when speed figures came out, the idea of class handicapping became anachronistic, and now it's like you look at those things much more. I look at it a lot in turf racing. I mean, I still believe that speed figures are the most important factor, but if they're the most important factor among 9, there's people like, oh, you're a slave to the fig. No, it's not a slave to the fig. Anybody that thinks you have a chance to do well in this game by looking at one thing only is out of their minds. And one of the things that's fun about the game is there's a million things to look at. Race number 7. Villa Regia, 2-1 morning line favorite. We'll take a look at this horse's last race. We both have the horse second. You don't have this horse on top. You've picked every Amira Shishakli horse. You're picking horses that she thought about claiming.
In the realm of
Boy, I got this one wrong. I was sure you'd pick this one.
in the realm of the condition claimers, this horse is the most reliable in this race. she has a lot of seconds.
Backed
and
by
thirds.
Gold's in good form, too. She ran two good races.
That was
since
a
then.
nice effort. I mean, she held off Royal Currency yesterday, but she won. Yeah.
No, she ran well
Yeah, she
yesterday.
did.
I
She
don't.
did.
I'm not going to. No, Royal Kinsey had every chance in the world to get by her.
Yeah.
I originally thought she drifted a lot. She didn't really.
She didn't realize
it
me
was
too.
not, it was
That's
not a
how I
herd.
looked at first
It was
look,
not
but
a herd. 'Cause I
no.
knew they finished well up the track, but
Yeah. No.
this was a case where I think that they were both drifting, and the other one was drifting maybe even more.
Yeah. I wanted to surprise you by not picking her number one. That was part
Thank
of
you.
it.
I appreciate that. I
That's
love it.
part
You know,
of
I love a surprise.
Of course. I know you love a surprise.
Who doesn't love a surprise? Let's be honest.
And listen, 26 starts, 10 seconds and thirds.
No, I know. I got
You
it.
know?
Listen, I didn't pick the horse on top either.
She's the horse to. It's hard to anoint a horse to beat for the bottom three life, but she's the horse to beat. But she's going to be 2-1. I wanted to take a little bit of a price against her, and I thought easy play. You know,
I think she can win. I
she's
think her second. I
running.
put
She's
her on
running
top.
against Beautiful Karen last. And Beautiful Karen's who she is, but she's better than these, and she's faster than these, and she
I'm
doesn't
not
have
sure how
beauty-
much better she is in these days, but you're probably right.
But and I'll tell you what, man, there's no Beautiful Karen to deal with in here. She's supposed to be gone.
The thing, yeah, I have no argument with you on that. I think London Gold will be sitting second to her. My problem is that she doesn't have any good races anywhere. That was my problem. I got her
And you might
second.
be
I'm not.
right.
I'm not.
You
I don't
might be right,
I
but
do not disagree with you. I picked her second. So don't.
Second off the long
And I
layoff.
could have been a bigger. I didn't realize she'd be twice the price of the morning line. Is
Yeah.
No. I.
Second off the long
I
layoff,
think
I'll
she's
take the chance. And I
super
put London
live.
Gold third for that reason.
Super
I think
live.
Easy's play is going to go. London Gold will be sitting second. Give me the logical horse in between them, and I'll use those three. And I'm going to play that late pick 3 today. I'm going to use these 3, and then I'll come back extra with the 3 and the 5.
I bet took Amity Island. It's another one of these Linda horses that came off a long layoff, dropping down, and did not take a nickel.
Not a quarter.
I mean, this horse being 6-1 in the race, of course.
There
Remember, Jerusalem was 21 morning
This
line?
was the weird morning line week, yes.
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
I just feel as though she was totally dead in there. She's probably going to run better today. I'm not sure she's that good, but she does have plenty of race, can beat these. I'm sort of 4s and 5s. And I probably should have picked the 5 because she's twice the price, but we don't need to have the same horse on top, so it's fine. But I'm certainly not, I do not disagree with you on the 5 at all. The 8th race is a fun race. No argument the total impact is the horse to beat. And I think that he was compromised by the complete lack of pace in this last race, which we'll look at. And I also think there's a chance the rail was an advantage that day, and that helped Gasoline. And I'm not going to hold that loss against him. He's in very good form for Linda.
Yeah, I thought the
Nothing
rail.
not to like.
Yeah, you're more in tune with this, but I thought the rail was really good, and
There
I
were
thought
enough,
speed was better, yeah.
ambiguities to suggest that I wouldn't want to call it a big gold rail, but I definitely think it was an advantage.
He gets the re-rally, and this horse was out there. The total impact was out there the entire way, and just he outgamed is kind of the wrong word.
He had to, no.
This was the day the Maker Maiden came back along the inside too, right? In the last
What he
race.
had to, yeah, but there were horses that collapsed in the rail in that race too. He had to move probably earlier than he wants to. It was a slow pace, and put himself in the race. And the horse who beat him had the absolute run of the race. Now Gasoline is no superstar, but he still has run okay at times. And I don't have a big problem with that. I think he's very dangerous. The horse that I don't like that's going to take money is 6%. We'll take a look at his last race. It's not a barn that has great numbers, by the way, off of wins. This is the last time was the time horse. And the other thing about it is Baldassar, who I didn't like, who got bet off the board, ran the better race. And I feel like with 6%, this was the day to get the money. And he's run well at a mile and 1/8. But I love the cutback to Weil last time. And I feel like he's going to take some money, and he's the last time was the time horse.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's impossible.
Oh, he ran the best race of his life last time. A little break. A little bit of break seemed to help him last time. Maybe he's just getting
Well,
good
he's
now.
been running pretty good races. He
Yeah.
didn't have particularly good trips in some of those races, and they were tough fields. And he got the right trip in here. He should never have been 7-1. I picked him second. I remember I bet him. I was on the show, and I said I'm going to bet him because he was a crazy price. He should have been 7-2. I actually prefer 3 jokers on the outside. 3 jokers trying to close into a race at absolutely no pace last time at all. And I thought he was interesting as a price, but I'm going to bet on Looney Seaman here. Wow, you don't have Looney Seaman in the top 4?
No, infamous 5th pick.
Well, there's a 7-horse field, Anthony. So
Yeah, I know.
I think he'll beat Bold Victory by a lot. I thought he ran very well last time. That's not really his game. He had to go into it, get on top of the pace. This race was dominated on the front end by Gulfstream Way. And I'm not convinced this horse won't do just fine with a little more distance. A Keen Ice.
Out of a tap-it manner.
Why has this horse not been going longer distances? I think he's supposed to set a good trip behind Mandatory and good skate. be in good position. And I thought he was the one, if you're going to try to beat Total Impact, he's the one I want because he ran his best race last time. And I know you're going to say Peter Waller's not reliable. I don't know. This horse has been running pretty well for him. He's got some good figures, and this last race was pretty good.
Yeah, with his pedigree, he might. I mean, what's taking him so long to run him 9?
Well, I don't know what took so long to run that Linda horse that I bet. That's a weird horse. The horse that came back and ran second the other day.
I watched the race with her again. She's like, she has no answer.
No, I talked to her about it actually.
She has no answer as to why this horse keeps sucking
one thing
himself
I said
out.
to her, and I don't know if I'm right about it, is that maybe she's a horse that doesn't love running on the turns.
That's what I said.
And so Belmont Park would be a better racetrack for her.
Absolutely.
But that's, but she's clearly a much better
4
distance
months away,
horse.
yeah.
Horse that ran second the other day behind.
Mama's got
to run.
Mama's got to run.
Yeah. Who Linda's very smart in the claim and stretching the
That's
horse
what
out.
it looks like, right? It looks like she kind of sucks herself out off the turn, and then when they straighten out for home, she comes running again. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's weird, though. She did it twice in a week and a half.
I would have made a lot of money if that horse won the other day. It was very annoying. I'd have blown it, but still would have been fun to have for a little while. Race number 9 is also, the last 2 races are fun. Race number 9 is the best race of the day. You got Hot Fudge, and we'll show you Hot Fudge's maiden win. I originally thought the maiden win was a lot better than it was, because the horse you're going to see breaking the rail doesn't break slow. Jose took this horse back.
Yep.
He didn't want to be involved, but I think he gave this horse a very, very, very good ride, because the rail was the place to be that day, and he stayed inside. But this horse really ran, and obviously wasn't going to beat Echo Zulu. For people that are wondering about this horse being scratched a couple weeks ago, the horse may have had a minor issue. It was nothing. Talk to Linda about the horse, because I asked her about it. She
Yep.
told me he might have tied up or something, and maybe that's why he was a little bit, because the vet didn't like the way he was going. But she said she didn't have any major
Yeah,
issues.
I asked her to tell you it was the sloppy track when she said she had already told you the real reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she texted me and she goes, I didn't scratch because of the slot. Tell him I didn't scratch because of the sloppy track, you dope. And that's right, you could have got away with that. I totally forgot
tried.
that. I totally forgot about that argument. That's right. I do think this horse is pretty good. I don't need this horse at a short price in this field.
Well, how short do you think? I mean, David has her 4 to 1. This race is impossible.
I agree, but I don't think she's going to be over. She's not going to be over 4 to 1, 9 to 2, and she could. You never know.
Right. Yeah, this was.
No, I think she has ability. She's the worst, but you're betting the favorite off a long layoff, a little bit on the come, and that's problematic.
That's fine.
That's why I want her on top. And I can tell you something. Captain's Daughter ran very well last time. I don't know where it came from, because she didn't suck into that race. It was not a particularly quick pace. She made a big middle move in there. She showed more life than she has shown. She's going to be a better price. I liked her last race. I was going to pick the 11. I'll take this one at a better price in there. They're the 2 I wanted in here. I'll tell you the horse that I do not like. You want better horses that I don't like? You've got this horse second. I don't like Western Lane at all.
Really?
Anthony, that is the phoniest fig in the history of phony figs. That race stunk.
Okay.
How did the second horse, Sources Network, do last time?
No good.
She's at the 8th pole now. She was 2
No
to 5.
good. All right.
The 4th horse ran 6 fire points worse. This was a stinko race. I think this was I don't believe this horse, that 76 will ever. I know she ran a 70 in off the turf race. I ain't buying it. I think it's a 64. I don't want any part of her.
Maybe you're right.
Well, I don't want this horse.
Okay.
I'll get her in the winner's circle.
All right, buddy.
I don't think Ruby's in Time's impossible.
Ruby's in Time. The problem with Ruby's in Time is if she doesn't go from the rail. I mean, there's a lot of speed in here, right?
Yeah, the 7 scratch. The 6 and 9 are the speeds.
6 and 9 are the main speeds, right?
There's not a speed in here. I mean, she'll be sitting 4th or 5th, probably on the rail. 3rd, she's going to be sitting. But those horses are faster. But I mean, I think there's a lot. I mean, I don't really want anybody. I don't want Baba. I wish Oscar the best of luck with her, but she's just faint-hearted. What was her excuse last time out?
She had no.
I
made a big bet on her last. She was terrible. She was terrible the other day.
Norgay came back to win, but Norgay ran 7 buyer points worse in victory.
The Finger Lakes guys. I made the Finger Lakes guys bet on her last time.
You've really turned on Mitch Friedman. No, you have. You left him
What do
out.
you
I
mean?
got him in there. You had every Mitch Friedman horse for a year. You didn't have a single Mitch Friedman horse not in your top 3. You're out, Mitch, but don't worry.
What do you like about?
I still am your friend. Okay.
What am I supposed to like? You
I'm
got
your
Jason
true
Carroll
friend.
4th?
Yeah.
Wow, you like Jason Carroll?
Well, it's worth 126 because I won the other day. Oh, you've got that ridiculous I'm Buzzy.
What's
the morning line on Buzzy?
Please don't talk about I'm Buzzy. Please don't talk about I'm Buzzy.
Chasing Care is 20 to 1 and I'm Buzzy is 10 to 1 morning line. Let me see something. I'll bet you lunch the 8 beats the 4.
Sure.
Okay. You got the best of me there, but I'll
Thank you.
Because I'm a generous guy. 1 lunch.
Okay.
8 over 4. Steve, I expect you to remind me about this. Anyhow, it's nice to be back. It's nice to see everybody. Nice to see you, Anthony.
Nice to be seeing you.
And,
Same here. See you at
we'll
Yonkers.
head to
soon.
Naira Bets. And we'll go on over to Naira Bets. And you'll use the promo code MATCH200. You'll do what you should have done a long, long time ago. You'll become a member of Naira Bets. Play through Naira Bets will match $200 of your initial deposit. We've got the middle pick 4, race 2, 3, and 6, pick 4s. We've also got the $5,000 dollar hit split in the late pick 3. You want to play that, and that's a good sequence because you got the 8th and 9th are good races. And
The seventh, yeah, when we have interesting opinions in the
2:30
seventh. too.
2:30 to 5:30 on 2 different stations. Love that. And that's it. We're done. Chris Griffin is just getting warmed up. He's up next for the reprise scratch and changes. Have a great day, everybody. It's good to be back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day